Hello, family and friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna, and today is Marvelous Monday. Today is June 9th. I hope you're having a great Monday so far. Well, my friends, I had to apologize. I noticed that my video from Sunday didn't post until early this morning, which is Monday. So I'm sorry, but you know, when you're at sea, you just never know. Even though I paid for the internet package, it's just so slow when it comes to uploading videos. So I pre-recorded all the readings and I'll post them today because we're in port and I actually have a signal, which is why I'm coming to you now. So you won't get a review every day because I'm just going to post the readings just to make sure we keep up with the readings. And then when I return, I'll eventually get to a very thorough review of the week's reading. But for now, I do have a recap from yesterday's reading. First Kings, let me say our prayer. Oh my goodness, I'm on vacation, but I cannot be on vacation from prayer. Lord, thank you for every single soul who can hear my voice. Please give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to gain some insight and inspiration from your text that we can use in our lives today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, friends. Well, First Kings 13, so, yesterday's reading, which was Sunday, was long. It was 17 readings and not full chapters, but like that's the longest I've ever saw. And how they gonna work me like that on my birthday? I thought that was kind of funny. So here's a review from that. The First Kings 13 reading, a man of God confronted Jeroboam and tells him of a new king that will be born to the house of David. That is going to be Josiah. Then he was disobedient to God by having a meal and water, and he was killed by a lion. So basically, this man of God was sent to give this message to Jeroboam, and God told him, do not eat or drink anything. Go deliver that message and get back. And so when Jeroboam offered him to stay for, a meal, he did say no. But then another person, king or someone, did the same thing, and he listened because he tricked him. He said, well, God told me to offer you drink and a meal. And so he disobeyed God, and God had him killed by a lion. The First Kings 14 reading, I've got Jeroboam's son dies because Jeroboam was wicked. And so God punished him by killing his son. And then Rehoboam is Solomon's son. He reigned in Judah for 17 years. And so the whole time you had Jeroboam versus Rehoboam, as if these names aren't complicated enough. One was king of Israel, one was king of Judah, if I'm not mistaken. So it's hard for me to, try to keep it all together here, but I'm trying. The Second Chronicles 12 reading was Rehoboam was an evil king who didn't set his heart to seek the Lord. Even after God took his son, he was still an evil person. He didn't learn from his ways. And he took wives, and he had many kids. So Rehoboam had 18. Rehoboam, his son wasn't killed. Rehoboam was King Solomon's son, but he was wicked too. Jeroboam, his son, was killed because he was worshiping idols and he was wicked too. So Rehoboam, Jeroboam. And I'm bombing at understanding the bombs. Anyway, Rehoboam, he took wives and had many kids. He had 18 wives and 60 concubines. So not as bad as his dad. Remember, King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines? So his son has less. He abandoned the laws of the Lord and all of Israel with him. And after he died, his son Abijah reigned. So after Rehoboam, Solomon's son, came Abijah. Okay? He was wicked like his father. But instead of wiping him out, God spared him for the sake of David, because he vowed to David, you will always have a lamp in Jerusalem. So meaning heir. And so he let him be king But as you can see, it's that cycle of sin yet again. They're, breaking away, worshiping idols and such. Then the second Chronicles 13 reading, Abijah reigned in Judah. There was constant war between Abijah and the whole time. His son Asa reigned after he died. He was right in God's eyes, and he took down the idols and foreign altars, Ashtarim. He even removed his mother as the queen due to her worshiping of the idol Asherah. So Asherim. So after Abijah died, his son Asa took the throne, and he was a man of God, or right in God's eyes, and he removed the idols in the land. So that's my review from the long reading yesterday. And again, I'm going to go back because I like to listen to other Bible scholars and, to get their summary to help me understand it more. And I'm not able to do that this week, obviously, due to internet. But that's why I said when I get back, I'll do a pretty comprehensive review of all of this, because I know it's very important. And one way that I'm summing this up is this is an era of bad kings. So the leadership that's since Solomon, because remember Solomon, until he got old and then was influenced by his many wives, he was a man of God, for a long, long time. And now we're seeing this period of decline. So the idol worshiping is coming back into play. But think about it. Remember, Solomon had 700 wives, and a lot of them were foreigners. And so a lot of them worshiped idols, which was his downfall. So it's not surprising that his heirs are doing the same thing and are wicked. So there you have it, my friends. Well, go and have a great rest of your Monday. I do have a video for you all this week. I just won't come on and do my little summaries. I'll just go straight to the video because I just want to make sure that it gets uploaded, because I'm going to upload them all today. So I just had to go ahead and just get all the recordings out the way. I hope you like the waves though. All the video that I'm using is from video that I took of the Atlantic Ocean. And so today we're in Dominican Republic. So I'll take some more footage of the water. I hope you like it. All right, enough about all that. You take care. Talk soon. Bye. 1 Kings 15, verse 16. And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might permit no one to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Lord and the treasures of the king's house, and gave them into the hands of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hezion, king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, Let there be a covenant between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I am sending to you a present of silver and gold. Go, break your covenant with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may withdraw from me. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa, and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, and conquered Ijon, Dan, Abel Beth Maacah, and all Chinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. And when Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah, and he lived in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation to all Judah. None was exempt, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber, with which Baasha had been building, and with them King Asa built Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah. 2 Chronicles 16. In the 36th year of the reign of Asa, Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might permit no one to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa took silver and gold from the treasures of the house of the Lord and the king's house and sent them to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, "There is a covenant between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I am sending to you silver and gold. Go break your covenant with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may withdraw from me." And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel. And they conquered Ijon, Dan, Abel-maim, and all the store cities of Naphtali. And when Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah and let his work cease. Then King Asa took all Judah, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber with which Baasha had been building, and with them he built Geba and Mizpah. At that time, Hanai the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said to him, "Because you relied on the king of Syria and did not rely on the Lord your God, the army of the king of Syria has escaped you. Were not the Ethiopians and the Libyans a huge army with very many chariots and horsemen? Yet because you relied on the Lord, he gave them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to give strong support to those whose heart is blameless towards him. You have done foolishly in this, for from now on you will have wars." Then Asa was angry with the seer and put him in the stocks in prison, for he was in a rage with him because of this. And Asa inflicted cruelties upon some of the people at the same time. 1 Kings 16. And the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, "Since I exalted you out of the dust and made you leader over my people Israel, and you have walked in the way of Jeroboam, and have made my people Israel to sin, provoking me to anger with their sins, behold, I will utterly sweep away Baasha and his house, and I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Anyone belonging to Baasha who dies in the city, the dog shall eat, and anyone of his who dies in the field, the birds of the heavens shall eat." Now the rest of the acts of Baasha and what he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Baasha slept with his fathers and was buried at Tirzah, and Elah his son reigned in his place. Moreover, the word of the Lord came by prophet Jehu the son of Hanani against Baasha and his house, both because of the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, in being like the house of Jeroboam, and also because he destroyed it. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, Elah the son of Baasha began to reign over Israel in Tirzah, and he reigned 2 years. But his servant Zimri, commander of half his chariots, conspired against him when he was at Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Arzah, who was over the household in Tirzah. Zimri came in and struck him down and killed him in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. When he began to reign, as soon as he had seated himself on his throne, he struck down all the house of Baasha. He did not leave him a single male of his relatives or his friends. Thus Zimri destroyed all the house of Baasha, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah his son, which they sinned and which they made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Elah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, Zimri reigned 7 days in Tirzah. Now the troops were encamped against Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. And the troops who were encamped heard it, said, Zimri has conspired, and he has killed the king. Therefore all Israel made Omri, the commander of the army, king over Israel that day in the camp. So Omri went up from Gibbethon, and all Israel with him, and they besieged Tirzah. And when Zimri saw that the city was taken, he went into the citadel of the king's house and burned the king's house over him with fire, and died, because of his sins that he committed, doing evil in the sight of the Lord, walking in the way of Jeroboam, and for his sin which he committed, making Israel to sin. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri and the conspiracy that he made, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the king of Israel? Then the people of Israel were divided into 2 parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. But the people who followed Omri overcame the people who followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri became king. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, Omri began to reign over Israel, and he reigned for 12 years. 6 years he reigned in Tirzah. He bought the hill of Samaria from Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and he fortified the hill and called the name of the city that he built Samaria, after the name of Shemer, the owner of the hill. Omri did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and did more evil than all who were before him. For he walked in the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in the sin that he made Israel to sin, provoking the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger by their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Omri that he did, and that might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And Omri slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his place. In the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, Ahab the son of Omri began to reign over Israel. And Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord, more than all who were before him. And as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, he took for his wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Sidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. He erected an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he built in Samaria. And Ahab made an Asherah. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger than all the kings of Israel who were before him. In his days, Hiel of Bethel built Jericho. He laid its foundation at the cost of Abraham, his firstborn, and set up its gates at the cost of his youngest son, Segub, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by Joshua the son of Nun. 1 Kings 15, verse 23. Now the rest of all the acts of Asa, all his might, and all that he did, and the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? But in his old age he was diseased in his feet. And Asa slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place. 2 Chronicles 16, verse 11. The acts of Asa from first to last are written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa was diseased in his feet, and his disease became severe. Yet even in his disease, he did not seek the Lord, but sought help from physicians. And Asa slept with his fathers, dying in the 41st year of his reign. They buried him in the tomb that he had cut for himself in the city of David. They laid him on a bier that had been filled with various kinds of spices prepared by the perfumer's art, and they made a very great fire in his honor. 2 Chronicles 17. Jehoshaphat, his son, reigned in his place and strengthened himself against Israel. He placed forces in all the fortified cities of Judah and set garrison in the land of Judah and in the cities of Ephraim that Asa his father had captured. The Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the earlier ways of his father David. He did not seek the Baals, but sought the God of his father and walked in his commandments and not according to the practices of Israel. Therefore the Lord established the kingdom in his hand, and all Judah brought tribute to Jehoshaphat, and he had great riches and honor. His heart was courageous in the ways of the Lord, and furthermore he took the high places and the Asherim out of Judah. In the 3rd year of his reign, he sent his officials Ben-Hail, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nethanel, and Micah to teach in the cities of Judah, and with them the Levites Shema, Nathaniel, Zebediah, Ashael, Shimeroth, Jenothan, Adonijah, Tobijah, and Tobadonjah. And with these Levites the priests Elishama and Jehoram. And they taught in Judah, having the book of the law of the Lord with them. They went about through all the cities of Judah and taught among the people. And the fear of the Lord fell upon all the kingdoms of the land that were around Judah, and they made no wars against Jehoshaphat. Some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat presents and silver for tribute, and the Arabians also brought him 7,700 rams and 7,700 goats. And Jehoshaphat grew steadily greater. He built in Judah fortresses and store cities, and he had large supplies in the cities of Judah. He had soldiers, mighty men of valor in Jerusalem. This was the muster of them by fathers' houses. Of Judah, the commanders of thousands, Adnah, the commander with 300,000 mighty men of valor, and next to him, Jehanna, the commander with 280,000, and next to him, Amasiah, the son of Zichri, a volunteer for the service of the Lord, with 200,000 mighty men of valor. Of Benjamin, Eliadah, a mighty man of valor, with 200,000 men armed with bow and shield. And next to him, Jehozabad, with 180,000 armed for war. These were in the service of the king, besides those whom the king had placed in the fortified cities throughout all Judah. 1 Kings 17. Now Elijah the Tishbite of Tishbe in Gilead said to Ahab, "As the Lord, the God of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall be neither dew nor rain these years, except by my word." And the word of the Lord came to him, "Depart from here and turn eastward and hide yourself by the brook Cherith, which is east of Jordan. You shall drink from the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you there." So he went and did according to the word of the Lord. He went and lived by the brook Cherith, that is east of the Jordan, And the ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning, and bread and meat in the evening, and he drank from the brook. And after a while the brook dried up, because there was no rain in the land.